Well, you're welcome to a new feature I call repairing tires in exotic locations around America. This is Sedona, Arizona. It's one of the most beautiful towns in America. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've been mostly focused on the 10 psi that I lost since I left the hotel, which is 45 minutes away. So that means I have a leak. I was meant to get a tire yesterday. There's a crowd called AZ Go, or Go AZ, as in Go Arizona, who said that they had a tire. Turns out when they said they had a tire, they had one tire that was the right size, but not the right rating for the weight of the bike, and then they had another tire which was completely the wrong size. They were willing to put either of them on the bike, but I figured I was better with a slightly leaky tire spec'd for the bike, rather than a soft sidewall sports tourer or a sports tire on a bike this heavy. The plug, I think possibly because of temperature, maybe I'm wrong, has started to leak, so I'm going to change it out. And I thought, because you couldn't see in the last video, hey, I should fix a plug in the tire, I'd show you. What you have is, you have these which are little sort of ropes soaked in adhesive. Then you've got the unfortunately named reamer, and then you've got this little contraption where you put your rope through it, stick it in the tire and pull it out. So I'll show you the deal. The first thing you do is, because once you start poking holes in the tire, it starts leaking air pretty quick. So you take your rope plug. At this point, you remember that you have vinyl gloves in the pack, and that you probably should have put them on before you started this. But what the hell. So that's going to get shoved into the tire once I get this cleaned out. And what you want to do is move relatively quick, because as soon as you start doing this, it starts to lose a ton of pressure. So you find where the gap is, clean it out, take your rope, stick it into the tire, draw it back out, and that theoretically is it now, sealed up. The next thing you do is you take a knife and you just cut off the little excess bits of rope. Now, in one way I'm lucky, because we have two punctures side by side. We have this one here which is holding, and this one which is leaking, but it's actually in between the tread, so it's not exposed as much to the road surface, whereas this one is. The rules that most tire manufacturers say is that you can only repair in sort of this section, so only in the center section of the tire. Once you get out here, there's too much movement in the tire, and you can't repair the sidewalls for the same reason, so you can only repair down the center. Then what you do is you take some water and you put it on top of the repair, and you look for bubbles. So there's no bubbles there. Now the other thing you can do is, if you have it, is if you've got some water with washing up liquid on, you put it on, the bubbles are much more obvious, but this does just fine. And then, thank God for Mark. Mark runs our service vehicle, and he has this tire inflator which he gave to me because I knew I was losing a small bit of pressure, not quite this much pressure. So you can set this to give your desired PSI. I'm going to put 44 PSI in it, and it just goes and does it. Thank God for Mark. Alright, go be noisy over there. The BMW also has a tire pressure gauge on the dash, so I can monitor this now as I ride and see if it stays intact. But that's another tire repair in an exotic location around America. Join us for, I don't know, Baker, California, Santa Monica, wherever next I repair a tire.